Shalom. All praises, glory, and honor be unto Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Double honors unto the apostles and the elders of GMS, or the true leaders of all Israel on earth today. Salutations to the Akim, the confusion of face Akim, that are joined into our ranks, that go out on the highways and byways and do this work in truth and sincerity, risking their lives and their freedom to do so. To the hopefully elect, the Akwathium, that are listening and learning, I say Shalom. Call halal Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, Bahashem, Rakah Kadash. This video I've been meaning to do for some time now. And I woke up and I was watching a video that the brother Yakal from out in San Francisco put up about Esau not having a lot of time, and he was talking about how the two Venezuelan diplomats got expelled. Well, this is one of the reasons why. I've been following this guy's channel right here called Florida Marquise. And this brother, or should I say this guy, he's been following the crisis which is happening in the Caribbean Sea. All right, a lot of those Caribbean nations are joining on to Russia and China. And you have the United Nations and Russia and China are working together in some cases to help these nations to convert over. So these nations are abandoning their American and their United Kingdom and their European leadership and connections. All right, because the Taiwanese have control over a lot of these islands. And if you're dealing with Taiwan, you're dealing with America. So real quick, let me start with a scripture. This is Matthew 24 and verse 6, and it reads, "And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that you be not troubled. All these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom. And there shall be famines and pestilence and earthquakes in divers places. And all these are the beginning of sorrows." And look, you got a volcano that's swallowing up an island, that's burning everything in its path, which is literally feet away from a power plant. These things have never happened before, which is happening on Earth. Flooding, earthquakes, sinkholes, tornadoes, riots, nations going to war with each other like never before. This is that time, man. And the fanners, and and the fact that the internet, now the information can be passed so quickly to the average citizen. These things, you get wind of these things within moments, or within a day, or within moments, man. Where sometimes things like this would happen, you wouldn't hear about it for months later, or maybe even a year later, or even more. All right, so let's let this video play out, because I haven't heard anyone really go into this, which is why I'm going to do it, to alarm Israel about what's happened, down in the Caribbean Sea, just above Venezuela in the Caribbean Sea and near the Panama Canal.
There's something going on, guys, you need to know about, and it's really not getting reported. And it's going to cause a huge problem. It's going to be one of those all of a sudden breaking news things. And unless you've been with my channel, you're not going to know what it's about. You see, over the last few years, with the artificially created fall in oil prices by the U.S. and the Saudis, it has opened up an opportunity for the Chinese and the Russians to get involved in Venezuela, to give them loans, to offer them a lifeline that will keep their tentacles there. Now, oil prices.
Like he said, to give them a lifeline. So what that means is that they're going to be doing business with China and Russia. All right. And in case you didn't know, you watchers out there, people who are watching with sincerity, Venezuela has the second biggest oil reserves on the planet, second only to Saudi Arabia, and America is going to get zero of that. Zero of that. Okay? And even Europe, many nations in the European Union are no longer trading in the dollar anymore. So America is running out of time, and they're going to have to act. All right? And the action is going to be war.
Are starting to go up. And they're going to continue to go up. And with this Iran deal thing happening in about 5 days, it's really going to cause a spike. The problem with this is twofold. As oil prices go up, it makes Venezuela more solvent. It gives them more of an ability to pay back their loans. Because, of course, they make more money. This is something that is wanted and desired by Russia and China.
Exactly.
Because they want their money. The problem is this. ConocoPhillips is attempting to seize Venezuelan assets.
That's an American company, by the way.
In Bonaire, Curacao, and Aruba. Not really Aruba. St. Eustatius Island, Bonaire, and Curacao. By force, if necessary. Because of this arbitration ruling that really has no legal weight whatsoever. Now, ask yourself a question.
And Esau is a master at arbitrations that have no legal binding. All right? The example being the Federal Reserve. America went bankrupt in 1933. And the Federal Reserve was set up to tax the people. So the people became the payment to the people that took over United States of America, which is the banks. All right, and the Federal Reserve is a representation of the IMF. All right, connected, which is owned by the Rothschilds, and it actually has no legal binding according to the United States Constitution, but yet it stands as law. All right.
If it's a choice between the Russians or the Chinese getting paid, or ConocoPhillips getting paid, who do you think wins that shittying contest? This is big U.S. corporations, oil companies, against two nation states. 3, technically. And Venezuela.
That's your kingdom against kingdom. All right. We just read Matthew 24. That's your kingdom against kingdom, and also Satan is divided against Satan. All right, because these are Edomite nations, and they're against each other. All right, and according to Isaiah, Satan is a man. We're not talking about the spiritual demon Satan. Remember, the spiritual. The spirit that the angel that controls the left-hand side, all right, under the authority of the Most High God, Yahweh, which can be read in Job, the 1st and the 2nd chapter, all right. There's also an account in the book of Kings, I believe it's 1st or 2nd Kings, the 19th chapter, all right, when the sons of heaven, the armies, the host of heaven, are called, the right and the left-hand side armies are both there. All right. And we know that Satan controls the left-hand side. All right. Because Yahushua sits at the right-hand side. Okay. So we're not talking about, when you're saying Satan versus Satan, that's talking about the human counterparts here on earth. So just as the Israelites are the counterparts to Yahushua that are going to inherit the kingdom with him, Esau, the wicked, who got dominion over this current time period, which is coming to an end, they're the counterparts to the left-hand side. That's why Isaiah reads, "Is this the man?" in the 14th chapter. and the subject matter was Satan. It was Lucifer.
Has ordered all of its tankers in the Caribbean back into Venezuelan waters to await further instructions.
Right. They ordered them back into the water so they could deal with Russia and
This
China.
is how it's going to begin.
And there you go. Because that oil is
throwdown.
What they're going to do is they're going to take that oil and they're going to sail around the Caribbean Sea. When he puts up a map, I'm going to show it to you. And they're going to go ahead right for the Panama Canal. And what's going to happen is that Panama still has a lot of American influence. And Americans are going to try to intervene. And the Russians and the Chinese not going to have that shit. This thing is going to, this is going to further when it says the fanners. Should it all, there's already going to be fires here on Earth because this war is getting ready to expand. That's why it's called the Third Woe, which is World War III, Armageddon.
See who blinks first. And this isn't something that hasn't been warned of. The Chinese and the Russians will get their money one way or the other. And if they have to drive oil prices into the stratosphere, they will do it. And if they have to send
And if you notice, oil prices are going up and they're going to continue to go up. And finally, you're probably going to actually see toward this summer, toward the end of the summer going into fall, you're going to see those $7 to $10 gallons of gas more than likely. Yahweh Ratazah, because I'm tired, man. And I'm tired of these scoffers coming on the comment board, regurgitating madness, putting up pseudoscience and falsified information and facts, trying to defend themselves. Look, your time is up. Okay? And Yahweh Ratazah, if I'm around, I'm going to celebrate, drink, and laugh at your downfall.
Assets into that region, and I mean military assets into that region to secure those tankers moving to Chinese and Russian
waters. That's right. They're going to send warships into the Persian Gulf, Salakia, into the Caribbean Sea.
And Conoco will be left out to dry.
There you go. And what's Conoco going to do now? Because I know they got their own security.
Everywhere else.
But they're not going to be able to deal with the China's.
Not here in the U.S.
So you hear that? This is being reported all over Europe, but not here in the U.S. Why? Because you're too busy watching a stupid-ass royal wedding, and they're not royals. All right? They're Edomites. There's nothing royal about Edomites. Fuck Prince Harry and fuck that bitch Meghan. All right? She's an Edomite anyway. She's a tear baby. Her father's an Edomite, therefore she's an Edomite. And Edomites are not royalty. They're the wicked. They're the base people of the earth that were put in control. The earth is given into the hands of the wicked. Job 9:24. They covered the faces of the judges thereof. And they put up their faces like they're the royals. All right? Just like in the previous video with Dr. Jacqueline Batalora. All right? They invented a race to help cover up their lies. They invented whiteness to cover up who they are. And now their time is coming to an end.
This is how it's going to start. If you can imagine Russian ships and Chinese jets securing Venezuelan airspace, Venezuelan waters, in order for those vessels to be able to transit.
You better believe they're going to guard their assets. Because oil, and that goes to show you how wicked the so-called white man is too, man. It's simply because they can run these engines off water, man. Clean. All right? I forget the guy's name, but there was a guy who did it, and he was, many, many years ago. I think it was back in the late 70s, if I'm not mistaken. I forget. But he actually was running hot rods off water, man. And that guy ended up dead about 6 months after. Why? Because companies like Conoco, these wicked Edomite men didn't want their technology to be given to the world. So the waters would be cleaner, the air will be a lot cleaner. No, but they want to sell oil to make themselves rich. All right? And with that money, they can continue to produce false information, control the media, control what goes into the the printing press, controls what goes into books, the information you learn, and propagate false history such as whiteness.
Safely to China. Now, what have I warned about for the last year? There is one path from Venezuela to China, and it goes right through the Panama Canal.
That's right.
This is coming. There is going to be a conflict.
No, it's not that they could be, they are. They're the new owners. It's not they could be, they are. They're the new owners, man. This thing is going to go down. So, you know, and a lot of and you can see as these Caribbean states, it's not just Venezuela, because Venezuela sits on you know, it's a border country. So the Caribbean Sea is right there, you know, at Venezuela, man. Because it's easy to get to the Caribbean nations from Venezuela. All right? And from Panama. And Panama is the only place where America still has a big influence. And they're going to try and stop this from happening. And this is going to make this conflict build up even more. So it's going to get hot down in the Caribbean Sea, just like it's getting hot over in Syria. And matter of fact, the incidents in Caribbean Sea is probably going to make the thing in Syria kick off even faster, because that's biblical prophecy. The war in Syria, the Valley of Jehoshaphat. So this incident over here is just going to help further escalate that.
What's going to happen is one of these Venezuelan tankers is going to...
With the Wix logo maker,
Wait, let's
you
go
can create a
past that.
professional logo for your brand. Go to Wix.com logo maker and get a memorable
Damn it, they're
logo
making you
designed
watch
just
this
for
shit.
you, based on your business.
Salakia.
attempt to be seized
His videos are monetized.
by ConocoPhillips as it enters the Panama Canal. And it is going to cause a problem with the Russians and the Chinese. They will come in, if necessary, and they will take over the canal zone.
So let's try this
in
now.
order to ensure those tankers make their way from Venezuela to Russia and China.
So let's click on another video. And I'm going to attempt to show you the area that we're talking about. Okay? Just trying to get to a map. When they show you the map of the Caribbean Sea. And there it is. Oh, shoot. Damn it. Good. Okay. He's a little high on the map. Let me see if I can. There it is. A little bit better. All right, let me pause it there. Use this pointer. So, Venezuela is over here. All right. Wow. So there we go. Let me back out. Let me back it out. All right. So, Venezuela is right over here. You can't see it, but right below this, it says Venezuela. All right. And the route that the ships are coming in, because America controls right here by Panama and Panama City. This little part here from like Aruba on down to Panama. All right. And all these different countries, there's a question mark on Puerto Rico. But all these countries, Dominican Republic, Haiti, Jamaica, Cuba, all right, Nicaragua, Costa, all these people are starting to deal with the Russians. So America only controls right here, right where the Panama Canal is, which is right here. All right, you can't really see it, but let me see if I can move it. There you go. Panama Canal is right there. So when you're looking at all this over here, all these nations here are dealing with the Russians and the Chinese. And all these, so all through here. All right. Now, this is the American control area. So as they're coming out of Venezuela, what they're doing, and there's a question mark on Puerto Rico. But as they go up, they take this route to avoid those American waters, and they're coming down to come to Panama, which is down here, to go to the canal, which is right about there, to go through to go into open seas. All right. And America is going to try to prevent that. All right. And as you're looking at all those Caribbean nations right there, they're all fed up with the so-called white man, well, at least Americans. And they're looking and they're starting to deal with, because they're just getting all these raw deals. So China's even dumped money into Haiti too. All right. So all these places that America is destroying, the Chinese and the Russians are going in to build up. And then what they're doing is they're getting allies, which helps bring to life the scripture how all the nations are going to turn on, the Babylon. So it's going to end up in the end being, it's going to be America and the imposter Jewish people against the whole world. And they're going to lose horribly. That's how America's going to get wiped completely off the map. And so are those imposters over there in the Holy Land, as according to Isaiah, the 63rd chapter. So with that, I hope this was an edifying lesson. Call halal Yahweh Shem Shai and a Baba Ball.